Pas ho pezon, all, every man. Pas, related to corn, as the Lord of the vineyard, ho curios tu ampelonos. He has allowed of whosoever has a bended knee to receive instruction. Ho pezon, shall fall, pipto, to fall down, as to descend from a higher or erect position to a place of a lower prostrate position.
Hey, bow down before curious.
And therefore to fall under judgment, akin to pitomai, to alight, to settle and come to rest. And considering Yechezkel 33:20, or Ezekiel, shall fall is Nophel, the humble servant whose speech has been yoked. Ekeinon ton lithon, upon thither that stone. Upon is El. In other words, is to perceive this instruction. And ekai thither that lithon, stone. Whether large or small, whether rough or polished, is Evan, the leader of the tent, the Son of Life, the righteous one, who is the builder, Bana, to build, of God's tent, to build as a faithful servant, what has been breathed after by Jehovah. Sunthlas thesetai shall be broken, soon with a company and beside and thou, to crush, to dash together and to shatter. In this case, a verse in the Bible that might seem familiar to this is Daniel. Remember that large stone that was cut out without hands? That's the one we are going to use as reference for this. Therefore, Daniel 2:35 is Daku kecheda. Daku's root word, dekek, and dekek related to dakek. And dakek is to beat small, to break into pieces, to crumble, to thrash, and therefore to crush. And kacheda is ched, abridged of echad, one, and echad from ached, go one way in unity or another but is sharp. And considering ached is in unity with the leader, what has been separated the one way, and there is one way only. And looking at dakek is the Torah that knocks at our minds and points out divine order and judgment. And looking carefully at letter Kuv is interesting that it is a combination of two letters, Chev and Zayin, therefore to bend and to cut away. That's what the Torah is doing all the time. And therefore we are broken away. We're broken in pieces deep inside. There is no way to go through this life unless we are beaten small. If hon dehan pesi likmeisi auton, upon whom, which, but, whatsoever, wheresoever, whosoever, pesi, shall fall, which we covered already, likmeisi auton. The text reads, it will grind him to powder. But is it? Because likmos from lignon, a winnowing fan. And you say, this is interesting. Of course it's very interesting. And there is no errors in the Bible, even in Greek. For God, there is no limitations. Language is beautiful if God knows how to use it, and we know how to use it in the Spirit. So let's dig in deeper. Considering winnowing fan, or to consume, to snatch away or carry away, which is what happens to chaff or husk from the grain as is separated, is suf, hatred that has been attached to what has been openly spoken uprightly. And if it is to crush small or to grind, as by pounding or upbraiding, as to truly pulverize. Then, Shemoth 32:20, that is Exodus, is Tochen, the harvest that has separated righteous seed. And you say, well, now that's very interesting and it makes more sense. It's not that the translation is wrong, it is a way to express what's going on, but it's more of separation. First you separate, you put in pieces, but you get rid of the chaff. And before this verse, Jesus said, Hode emblepsas autois. But having looked at them, Apen, he said, Tihun estinto gegramenon tuto. What then is that has been written this? Lithon hon apedo kimasan hoi oikodomuntes. Stone which rejected those builders. And rejected is moes, despised and rejected, of the open word in pride have hated. And these builders is from the same Bana which we discussed previously. However, these has built their own tents, and therefore in separation from God's tent, to be a hair of what they are building by the power of the spirit of the flesh, that is, negative of hay. Utos egenethe es kephalei gonias. This has become into head of corner, and kephalei is rosh, to the top, with the power of God, has craved, pressed, or that is sharp. And gonias, related to gonu, ni, the corner, and this is pina. And letter pe, gematria 17, is 7 plus 10. And from your math class you can say, well, that's 17. Of course, it is completeness and congregation. And for example, ecclesia is a congregation, and therefore to be here in the spirit, as Evan is building Bana. So from our story in our previous studied verse, we learn that we have to speak uprightly and be open with what God's word intends to teach. And therefore, God has opened this instruction. It depends on whoever has a bended knee. Jesus said that this is not an easy experience. A humble servant's speech will be yoked, and therefore brought to a lower prostrate position, whether by the open word, they may not like it or not, but if it brings humility and through an experience, if it's a harsh experience, you will be brought to humility. But on despair, Jesus is the builder. He's looking after God's tent to be the faithful one of what has been breathed after, to build what's forever, his church. However, there is only one way through experience, and that is Echad, the one way through him. We are beaten small by the Torah, being bent and cut away, being bent and cut away. Remember Dakek. And this is better than being consumed and snatched away, and considering us as the righteous seeds by the end of times as we mature in our growing experience in the field, whether through aversive weather, through averse experiences in life, we still grow in the field to produce the grain that God looks for to store. However, getting rid of the husk, for which hatred is attached to them, the harvest will come and will separate away the righteous seed. And to be part of the cornerstone, Kephalei Gonias, that will be forever. From the beginning is how the leader has craved for, that there will be completeness and rest in the congregation, to be heirs in the Spirit. So with a bended knee, embrace instruction, be thou beaten small, and thy speech be yoked to be a humble servant to Jesus, even the stone. Rather better to fall upon him and be broken in pieces than being carried away into hatred and fire, which is what chaff or husk is meant for, nothing else but to be carried away into nothingness and consumed. So I encouraged you that thou mayest embrace instruction and only speak what God intends you to speak from His word. Amen. There is only one stone that has become the cornerstone of every building. You have two choices. Fall on that stone and be broken, or he would fall on you, that he may grind you into powder. Be wise. Choose the former.
Hodem blev sautois, Eben di unestia doge gramenon tuto, Lithon hona pedo, kimasan hoi kodo muntes, Hutos egenises que galeas gonias, Paso pezon ekeinon lithon sun thaisetai, Efondihan peselik neisei auton.
Although may be pain,